Yeah! Woo!
The old stomping grounds, Wolf Lakes. I haven't been out here in like 10 years. When I was in high school, this was like the spot that if you wanted to try to make wakeboarding, this is where you would pretty much go, because it was the only spot that you can actually like get good water on a regular basis. Everything else you'd have to like pretty much like get up at like 6 a.m. So if you're in school, pretty much you're not wakeboarding.
So you know, it actually goes way back to my wife Candy. You know, her parents were big boaters on the Delta. And when we got married, I started jet skis because we didn't have a boat and we wanted to stay on the lake. And after that, I started racing.
You know, after David and I got married, we loved the water because now we had grown up on the water and it was in our DNA. It was like in part of who we were, and so it became such a family thing.
Trevor. Hi there.
6 weeks after he was born, he was in a crib on the lake while we were jet ski racing. It was a lot of fun. He's been around the water his whole life. I got my father-in-law's boat. He was passing away from cancer, so I fixed it up, took it to the lake, and put Trevor on a pair of little wooden double water skis and got him up off the shoreline. His grandpa got to watch him water ski. He probably went 100 yards and fell in, but he was hooked after that.
Dude, this is bringing back so much memories. This spot right here legitimately is where I first landed my first five, and my first back five and my first toe seven. It was crazy because like I've never landed them before, and I actually landed them like in a line on video and stuff. And my dad thought the seven was a crow mob. I remember him being like, "Oh, that crow mob was sick," and I'm like, "No, it was a toe seven." Yeah, to my family, like school sports was like pretty important. They were pretty adamant about it, and so when I got into high school, that's when my dad was like, "You gotta do something," and so I picked tennis because I knew tennis had cuts, and I knew I wasn't good at it, and I just didn't want to do a school sport, so obviously I got cut.
The tennis tryout, yeah, that was a con job.
So Trevor sat me down in like 8th grade and was like, gave me an ultimatum, was like, you either stick with water polo or you stick with the family and wakeboard. So we became the crew, the Maur crew out on the boat every day after school.
So Trevor got an opportunity with the public school system that we were with. We had a place called CART, which was an area where kids could go that weren't necessarily maybe even college driven, but they had a passion or a drive to do something. And Trevor wanted to go to CART, so his junior and senior year he went there, and it gave him an opportunity to really dive into media and communication and graphics. And he fell in love with it.
This is like what I used to.
That was cutting
That
edge
was
back
like,
then.
this was like seriously like the camera that, in fact, this might be the same camera.
Yeah.
Like they would let us check out cameras if you like showed that you're like good with the equipment and were responsible enough, and like if you could check this out, this is what was up.
He wouldn't come home at lunch because, I mean, he just would stay at school longer or go back so he could work on his personal projects. They were allowing him to do that, and he was really working on his Sponsor Me videos to be able to put those out there in the wakeboarding community.
Yeah, I mean, without this school, I probably wouldn't even be editing. Honestly, I liked editing because it was allowing me to make my Sponsor Me videos, because all I wanted to do was be a pro wakeboarder. But this classroom, this seat, this spot, this literally shaped where I'm at today in my career with the videos and wakeboarding. Like without both hand in hand, I don't think I would be where I am. And sick. Yeah, so this photo, this is cool. So this is actually the very first magazine shot I've ever gotten. Garrett Cortez took it. And not only is it the first mag shot I ever got, but this is actually the first time I ever rode a Hyperlite wakeboard right when I was about to, switch onto them.
Yeah, I think one of the pivotal moments in Trevor's career had to be West Coast camps. That was kind of a start to Hyperlite. Mike took notice, and Joe Sassenrath, and eventually he worked his way through the different Hyperlite teams and until he got onto the pro team. And I'll probably never forget, Joe talking to me about, Trevor's personality and his character. We're going to carry him farther than his riding in the sport. And true to that today, it really has. He works hard and he rides hard, and it's just been really good. It was a good start for his career and see where he ended up today.
What was really special is, as a family, we went to the lake often, a lot, and we enjoyed doing it together. Watching Trever just really grow in his skills and his gifts, and just doing it as a family. We weren't separated, we weren't split apart, but we got to be out there together as a family.